Hello everybody, my name is Damon, and welcome back to Steins Gate. When we last left off, we found the IBM 5100. I had an existential crisis over a phone call with Mayuri. And Makise Kurisu is now back into the lab. We've hacked into CERN with the admin credentials, and we've now found out that they've been experimenting on humans, as if that wasn't prevalent enough. And they failed multiple times. Or at least once. They failed at least once, as shown by their photograph in Jellymen's report. But considering it's Jellymen's report 14, I'm guessing there's more than one. Anyways, the ticking of the clock is like a hammer inside my head. It's past 2 a.m. The window is closed and the lab is silent, but for the humming of the computer. We stare at the gruesome image displayed on the monitor, speechless. I was right. We're in too deep. I have expected guys in black suits and sunglasses to kick down the door and drag us off to a secret military prison. Better make sure the door's locked. Looked! Better make sure the door's locked! What's going on here? Dara breaks the silence with a disbelieving whisper. They jellified someone? Upon hearing the familiar word jellified, I reflexively look at the bunch of bananas placed next to the computer. There's only one banana left. We didn't have a single successful experiment today, so none of them were jellified. But I don't think this is a mere coincidence. The jellified banana is produced by the phone wave named TBA, and the jellified corpse is produced by CERN's experiments. They seem identical in nature. They're experimenting on people. Kirsten speaks calmly, despite her grim expression. She doesn't even avert her eyes from the gruesome image. And this means they've created a time machine, doesn't it? Even if it's not perfect. I'm still in shock, so I don't quite grasp the meaning of Kurisu's words. This New York Times article is from 1921. 90 years ago. Look. Kurisu points to part of the black and white photograph, her finger shaking slightly. The jellified corpse of a man. She's pointing to his shoulder, which has writing on it. After it's printed on his clothes, it's fused onto the jellified body, but you could somehow manage to read it. 213,542. CERN. So, CERN used the LHC to send someone back to 1921? Looks like they failed to keep him alive, though. Is this the only report? No, there's more. Looks like 14 people in total. More Jellymen? That means more jellified people. More victims of human experimentation. I swallow hard. How did they get these people, though? Were they volunteers? Did CERN kidnap them? I mean, I suppose that's all possible. I'm awfully thirsty. I take a cold Dr. Pee out of the fridge and wet my throat. I don't think that'll help, but alright. Show me the others. Dara pulls up another report. Without being told to, Kurisu begins translating out loud. Jellyman's Report 9. Subject, Dan Straitsky, age 26, Canadian. Z Program 4, date of experiment, 2004. November 6th? Time? 1410. That's for a month. Okay. Yeah, it's September. I don't know why I couldn't remember that it's September. So September the 6th at 2:10 or 14:10. Great. Results error. Human is dead. Mismatch. The newspaper clipping. I think it's in French. I can't read it. You can read the date, though. January 31st, 2001. The location is Pau, France, I guess. 2001. That's fairly recent. Pretty big difference from James McCarthy, who jumped nearly 90 years back to 1921. Dara calls up a machine translation, giving us the following. January 31st, 2001. Collapsed male corpse discovered in forest outside Pau, France. Its left foot was fused to a tree trunk, and the body had jellified. I don't think they would call it jellified, but they probably just say melted. Dara goes to the next report.
Jellymen's Report 8. Subject, Linda Hill, age 25, British. Z Program 4. Date of experiment, February 15th, 2004. Time of date, 13:45.
So, 1:45. Like, that was February, right? Not wrong with that one?
Results, error. Human is dead. Mismatch. October 2, 1972. The jellified body of a woman
Would you really have called it jellified?
was discovered on the streets of Dharmapuri in Tamil Nadu, India.
The remains discovery. What oh my god, this translation, mages, this translation. The remains discovery remains of the jellying woman had the mark run over by the car after it was left on India and the road of Tamil Nadu state, Dharmapur. Half the body was probably deteriorated. That's jellified? Are you sure? She looks like she still has her clothes. Which is weird. I guess it fused to her.
There were signs that the body had been run over by a car.
There goes the next page. So I guess she's just reading whatever.
Jellyman's Report 7. Subject, Michael Lang, age 33, German. Z Program 4. Date of experiment, 2002, October 8th. Time of death, time sent, 13:28. Results, error, human is dead, mismatch.
Audio clipping is written in Japanese. Looks like a pre-war newspaper. May 24th, 1936. The corpse of what is believed to be a jellified human was discovered. Why do you keep saying jellified? The corpse of what is believed to be a melted human was discovered at the base of Mount Hiei in Kyoto. It was in a damaged state, possibly from having slid down the slope. Why would you say jellified? Who the fuck uses that word? It even happened in Japan. I've never heard this story before. It was pre-war though, so I guess someone born in the 90s like me would have no way of knowing about it. Next page. Testy. Picture shows a beach. Beautiful. But for the jellyfish-like body lying on the sand. It must have washed ashore.
Jellyman's Report 6. Subject, Mark Hughes, age 30, American. Z Program 4. Date of experiment, 2002. August 23rd. Time, 12:52. Results, error. Human is dead. Mismatch. On July 1st, 1985, a strange body washed ashore on the coast of Streymoy, Faroe Islands. It appeared to be the body of an adult male, but its flesh was soft like that of a jellyfish. Some of the island's inhabitants believe it was the body of a merman. The inscription, SERN, was found near the body's shoulder, but CERN denies any involvement.
I'm sure they do. Keep looking. I've seen enough. There are 14 of these people.
The sites are spread out throughout the world. What can we deduce from this?
They must have sent them to those places.
I don't think so. It's too random.
There was something about curved black holes and gravity, right? Isn't that the cause?
It is believed that due to infinite compression by supergravity, the subject could not endure passage through the curved black hole singularity. That's what it said.
What's a curved black hole? Is it different from a regular black hole?
It's a theoretical black hole with a rotating singularity. Their existence hasn't been proven yet, not that there's any way to prove one exists.
Curved black hole. Where have I heard that term before? What do you mean where? We've talked about it like 3 times with micro black holes over with John Titor. That's right. John Titor! Titor said his time machine used curved black holes. According to Titor, CERN finished their time machine in 2034. Then Titor himself came from 2036. It makes sense for Titor and CERN to be using the same time travel technology. She doesn't want to believe it. Grace closed her eyes in deep thought.
Creating curved black holes? That's insane. If you screw up, it could swallow the Earth. And besides, curved black holes are just a theoretical construct.
If Titor's predictions are a reality, then that means the LHC worst-case scenario video on MewTube was right. MewTube? Hold the phone! I haven't read some of these tips in a little bit, so let's look at them. Beta endorphin. A neurotransmitter secreted by the brain, effectively suppresses pain and stress, producing euphoria. The effect, known as runner's high, can be explained by the secretion of these beta endorphins. Right, okay. That's what Hoen Kyoma's always on. He's always excited, always happy. Not right now, but that's because he's not quite Hoen right now. Crunchy-kun Fictional, a brand of popsicle, popular throughout Japan. In addition to the standard soda flavor, over 50 varieties are sold, including cola, grape. What do you mean standard soda flavor? And limited promotional flavors. Win may be written on one part of the one part of the stick. A winning stick earns a free popsicle. Chances of winning are rumored to be around 2%. What the? Why would that be? That is worthless. Wizard, an insanely skilled hacker. Committee of 300. The Unseen Masters, a secret organization rumored to manipulate the world behind the scenes. Some believe that many secret societies spoken of by conspiracy theorists are all merely puppets of the Committee of 300. One theory states that the Committee of 300's ultimate goal is to establish a one-world government. With the exception of the elites, the world's population will be reduced to 1 billion, and that remaining 1 billion will be enslaved. Right, okay, well, that makes sense for robotics notes. Collider, a device that accelerates charged particle. We don't really care about that, do we? Largen's chest. In Norse mythology, the gigantic chest protected by 9 locks that contains the cursed sword Leviathan. Oh! Neptune has that sword. Huh, nice. Or sword named similar to that. And MewTube, a popular video sharing website. Indeed, indeed. I don't know about Titor's predictions, but I've seen the problem video before. It was on the news 2 or 3 years ago.
The gravitational forces inside a black hole are unbelievably powerful. It's certainly possible that passing through one could allow time displacement, but there's no way a human could do that and come out alive.
That must be how these people got jellified.
It wouldn't just jellify you, it would tear you apart particle from particle. That's what a black hole does.
Before we discuss this, shouldn't we look through the rest of their time machine research? Tower's already started pulling up new documents. I'm suddenly afraid. Is it okay to keep hacking CERN like this? Well, I would tell you to stop, but should I stop him? You probably should. But, you know, I'm the one who asked him to do it, but things have gotten serious now. At the same time, irresistible curiosity wells up inside me. Time travel is becoming a reality. I want to know that it's true. I can't stop now. Here we go! There's a file in the Z program that explains time travel theory.
That was pretty easy to find. CERN should have better security.
Well, that's what the IBM 5100's for, right? Their security's fine. I'm just too good. Daru is my favorite right arm.
I thought he was your super hacker.
Hacker! So, what does it say, Christina? This is in English too, so I have no choice but to rely on my assistant. It doesn't really say much. You can't really read this area is not scale.
Can you give me some time to read it?
Christina's eyes dart left and right across the lines. Her earlier reluctance has vanished. Looks like she's as curious as I am.
No way. But this is... Is Titor really?
What are you muttering about? Tell me what it says. Yeah, come on, Kurisu. Tell us what it says. Tell it to the class.
Oh, right. You know, this feels like one big joke. What do you mean? It's almost the same. The same as Titor's theory. Basically, the LHC smashes protons together at 99.9999991% the speed of light. That's pretty fucking fast! By doing so, they compress a massive 10 to the 24th, negative 24th kilogram into...
Why is there a negative, though? That's a really small mass. And into a space of 10 to the negative 10th, that doesn't make sense either. I don't think there's supposed to be negatives there. Anyways, big stuff in small space. In Japanese, please. 3 lines max.
A small mass. Thrust into a narrow space. With great force.
Oh boy. That explanation's too vague. Oh. Yeah, it is. That explanation's too erotic.
Huh? What part of it is erotic? Huh? Hashida! You pervert!
Sounds like you have a pretty good imagination yourself.
Yeah, I'm not like you!
Blushing cheeks make her denial less than effective. Don't listen to this fool, Christina. Continue. Wow. Wow. Kiyoma is the calm one here.
What were we talking about?
Thrusting with great force. Proton compression.
Right. Successful compression generates a microsingularity, which...
A microsingularity? Not a mini black hole? Same thing, essentially. A singularity is the core of a black hole.
This process generates a black hole with 2 microsingularities.
A black hole with 2 cores? That's a pretty tight little thing. Like a cowlick with 2 hairs? I don't think that's it. Explain with cute girls.
Fine. Say there are 2 cute girls, Meek-chan and Crow-chan.
Sisters of Moe.
By feeding Meek-chan and Crow-chan electrons, you can make them do whatever you want.
Electric shock torture? This is some kind of Veroje?
So you force them to rotate at an extremely high velocity. And then, theoretically, Meek-chan and Crow-chan transform into magical girl ring singularity.
Huge stock transformation scene. Got it. Well, looks like these two have found a common wavelength. Okay.
The resulting black hole exhibits what is called the Kerr effect.
What are Kerr black holes anyway? You said they spin, but what does that mean?
Exactly what it sounds like.
Don't black holes usually spin? I mean, there's a whirlpool around the hole, right?
The part that looks like it's spinning is just the surrounding matter being sucked into the black hole. A black hole is just a point where extreme mass causes gravitational collapse. Everything falls towards it. Since it's only a point, it doesn't spin. A Kerr black hole has a ring at the center, not a point. Think of it like this. Once transformed into magical girls, Meek-chan and Crow-chan's hearts spin like a ring inside their bodies, which is impossible for normal people.
I'll pass on the girl. Before, you said that such a black hole's existence would be impossible to prove. What did you mean? Well, you can't exactly look at a black hole.
A black hole has what's called an event horizon. Once you pass the event horizon, time and space switch places.
Time and space switch places?
Right now, we can move freely through space and into the future, but we can't move even 1 minute into the past. That becomes reversed.
So you can't move at all, and you can't move into the future, you will just go into the past?
On the other side of the event horizon, moving freely through space becomes impossible, while moving freely through time becomes possible.
That, I don't even... You cannot... How could you possibly imagine what that would be like? Oh, you know... let's go 10 years that way. In the same spot, of course, because I can't actually move right now. So I'm just going to move along the line here. God, that's like, that's some King Crimson bullshit right there. Yeah, I can't even imagine what that's like. I am with you there, Okabe.
Since unrestricted spatial movement is impossible, you can never escape a black hole. For example, if Okabe jumped into a black hole, time for him would stretch to infinity. Since light cannot escape, human eyes cannot see the other side of the event horizon. Observing a black hole from the outside is impossible, so nothing about the inside can be proven. There is an exception, however. This exception is vital when you use a curved black hole for time travel.
Get to the point.
The curved black hole is ring singularity. Since it's spinning, it has angular momentum.
Like I said, in Japanese, please.
Didn't I already explain how the core spins? Just think of that as having momentum. If you keep giving Meek-chan and Crow-chan electrons, they'll rotate faster and faster. And when their angular momentum exceeds a certain threshold, the event horizon will disappear, and the singularity will become a naked singularity.
I wonder how Daru's gonna take that wording. Huh! Naked? You made the magical girl costumes expose a lot of skin, right? When does the anime adaptation air? Curse and I ignore Daru's nonsense. Naked? You mean because it comes observable?
When the event horizon disappears, there's no more reason for time and space to change places, meaning that you can enter a naked singularity without being trapped.
Somehow, if you had enough force to do that.
And then the existence of the naked singularity allows the principle of causality to be violated, and the general theory of relativity to fail. The laws of physics are broken!
Can such a thing exist? Negation of the theory of relativity and the principle of causality means serious paradoxes can occur. Didn't Kurisu say that earlier?
Nothing in principle stops curved black holes from existing. It seems inconsistent, but the math never lies. Since the principle of causality fails, it would be possible to travel to the past by entering a naked singularity.
John Titor said the same thing. So Titor's time machine is using CERN's technology. But Titor's time machine was compact, small enough to fit into a car. LHC is 27 kilometers long, but they managed to get it down to travel size in just 24 years?
One thing I don't understand is how they inject electrons into the singularity. Look, this is a picture of the LHC, but there's a strange equipment installed at the proton collision site. It looks like they call it a lifter, but just what is it?
Daru, have you heard of it? Lifter. I think I saw that in the Z program files. Wanna Google it? Google it. Daru opens a browser window and enters lifter into a search engine. We've got hits! About 422,000 results. Jesus.
That many? I guess it's not a secret.
What? No? Lifter is a word. I mean... Could this be it? Lonocraft.
Lons are changed particles. Lons are charged particles. The meaning matches.
We click on a link that says Lonocraft. Lifter. Takes us to a video. On YouTube. Are you allowed to have that kind of logo right there? I don't know. Oh man. What a weird... Only one egg? Only one egg. What the fuck? Levitation, lifter. Okay. Right. The lifter. Right, I remember this sort of. What the hell are these people? Jill Bonfa 0 something. YouTube.com/watch. Yeah. Object with. I don't remember that being a thing. Whatever. Looks like some dim garage. It doesn't actually seem like anything secretive. Just a garage like you'd see in an average American home. 420. Nice. At the center of the screen is a triangular shape made of some kind of metal. You say this is a garage, but we're outside. Looks about 10 centimeters high and about 30 centimeters wide. It's connected to some sort of generator by a thin wire. Looks like some really cheap equipment. That's all there is. Nothing else. After explaining something in the language I don't understand. Russian, maybe? Person filming the video slowly turns the power on. You sure? I mean, the thing's in English. I guess people do usually put the titles in English just for kind of clickbaity-ish things sometimes. And then it's floating. Silvery triangle floats silently into the air. Then it remains stationary. I guess that's why it's called levitation. That's an anti-gravity device.
Don't be ridiculous. That'd be the breakthrough of the century. It's called a ionocraft, so it probably has something to do with electrodes and charged air.
Kirsty doesn't sound as confident as she usually does. We look up information on the ionocraft lifter. Lots of sites have detailed instructions on how to make lifters, but I don't know how they work since all the sites give conflicting theories.
SERN is using
this lifter technology. It's a vital component of their time machine. If they can manipulate a microsingularity's mass and gravitational field, then these things really are anti-gravity devices.
Well, under those exact conditions, I guess you might not be entirely wrong.
Incredible! My curiosity is growing more by the second.
But it looks like CERN's having trouble adjusting their lifter. They don't have full control over the microsingularity's gravity, so they can't make a true naked singularity.
That must be the reason why the subjects turned into Jellymen. Harisu nods.
Since the singularity is still closed, the subject is crushed by its tremendous gravity. As a result, substances become fractalized. Let's go with that hypothesis. Of course, there's no way to be sure that's right. It might take months to prove.
Harisu shrugs her shoulders in resignation. So, CERN's lifter is still incomplete. If Titor is telling the truth, then CERN will complete their time machine for another 24 years. If we can complete the phone wave, name TBA first, then we'll have outwitted CERN!
We don't have half the equipment or funding CERN does. What makes you think you can solve a problem that they can't? This isn't that simple. CERN still hasn't figured out how to set the subject's destination in time or space. That should be evident by how scattered the Jellymen discoveries were. We don't even know if this is all of them. There could actually be Jellymen buried underground or floating in space. Actually, I'm almost certain there are. There's no point traveling through time if you end up in tens of thousands of kilometers away from the Earth. It's not practical at all.
Titor said he had a variable gravity lock system. He can use that to lock onto the Earth's gravity and ensure he arrives somewhere on the planet's surface.
Titor's explanation on that point was vague. He mentioned having such a device, but he didn't explain how it worked.
But if you're only moving through time, won't you just arrive in the same location?
Of course not.
Why not? The Earth moves? Because the Earth is always moving, yeah.
Right. Rotation and revolution. The Earth's rotation velocity is about 1,600
kilometers! 1,600 kilometers!
Per hour.
Fucking kilometers, what the fuck?
Its orbital velocity around the Sun is about 114,000 kilometers per hour. Meaning 1 hour ago, we were that far away from where we are now.
Whoa! When you think about it like that, we're earth-shatteringly fast!
And that's not all. The solar system is part of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way spins like a giant whirlpool. There are various theories, but basically the Earth moves about 50 million kilometers a day.
How can she roll all those numbers so smoothly off her tongue? Male, I don't know. She might get mad at me. Are you mad? No, you don't seem that pissed. Okay.
Virus, Phantom is the cat's meow. Have you brought phantasms? Have you bought Phantasm's debut single yet? It's the theme song for Rainer Kakuru, so it's really popular. Barry's got 5 copies, yeah? It's my duty as a Rainer. Anyway, there's an important secret hidden in Phantasm songs. The key to unlocking it is... Oops, bell's ringing, yeah? Looks like someone's here. Better see who it is.
The band's vocalist. I feel a strong resonance from her. Theme song. This is another part of Operation Stupidify Humanity. Don't be fucking rude, band's vocalist. I feel... both of them? Oh, what the fuck? No, that's different. I'm aware. They are said to contain directions to the sanctuary, as well as prophecies regarding the end of the world. Isn't that right? Band's vocalist. I feel a strong resonance from her. Yes. Phantasm is the cat's meow. Sorry about that. I get that she's a genius, but it's hardly common knowledge. Has she been doing research on the topic? We've kind of gone to a ludicrous scale.
By the way, the Milky Way is part of a large cluster. The Milky Way is a part of a large cluster of galaxies, which is itself part of an even larger supercluster. And these clusters are superclusters. And these clusters and superclusters might be moving too. If that's the case, we're moving even more than 50 million kilometers a day. The point is that setting the destination would require insane calculations, even if you only want to travel 1 second into the past. Doing it by hand is impossible, and it might take years for a supercomputer to come up with a solution, just to get you to the same location.
Then we have no choice. We need to find Titor and borrow his variable gravity system.
Great idea! Go for it! I wonder how SERN is dealing with this problem.
Oh, that was actually sincere. I thought she was being fucking sarcastic. Okay. I mean, maybe she was that. I just couldn't tell, but... After blowing me off, Gracie goes back to reading CERN's documents. I guess that was being sarcastic. Dara and I are good with English, so there's nothing we can do but let her work. Nice. And it's already day.